Hello YouTube and long time no see. Welcome to this new video. The topic of today will be maintaining languages as I was requested to do a video about it. And it also includes my routine for the languages that I'm actively learning now. I will also make another video for the languages that I'm passively maintaining and how I maintain them. So when you know more than 3-4 languages, you have to choose which languages you want to maintain actively, and the other ones you cannot maintain them on a daily basis. You just maintain them from time to time. So let's talk about the languages that I'm now currently maintaining. I'm maintaining Dutch. So what is my daily routine? I will read the newspaper. For example, here I have so how do I do it? I have an article. Let's see here. I have an article about demonstration in Brussels, and the interesting there are some interesting expressions that I just highlight, and some words that I don't know, I just highlight them. And afterwards, what I do is that I have a notebook where I just have the list of vocabulary, what the target language which is Dutch, and the translation in your mother tongue. In my case, here it's written in French. So I have notebooks for every language. This is good because everything is in one notebook. All your vocabulary is related to an actual content. So what is important to know is that you can learn from different sources. You don't have only that newspaper. I also took a magazine, and when I was in Rotterdam in the Netherlands, it's about cooking for kids, as you can see here. And I read some articles. For example, here you don't need to read every single article. You just select one article that is interesting to you. Here I wanted to learn about this box that they are giving to some families. Here, this is a family, a Syrian family that came to the Netherlands, and they get acquainted to the lifestyle in the Netherlands. So, and they speak about how they cook baklava in Syria and what they do in the Netherlands. I found it interesting, but afterwards I can also read about another topic about pepper from Indonesia and so on. So you just select the topics that are interesting to you, and you can do it from various sources, not only from magazines but also from internet texts or videos. You can also watch TV, and you at least do it 20 minutes a day. Ideally 20 minutes a day is good because you are just maintaining the language. And what should I say more about Dutch? That's pretty much what I'm doing. And the other way I maintain Dutch is participating in table conversations. So a group of people, they just come together and speak in Dutch with each other. There is always a theme or that we discuss. Some questions are prepared by the organizer, and that's basically how I do. I also speak from time to time on Skype with a Dutch friend Thomas. So hoi Thomas from Delft. So we just have fun because we share the same interest for foreign cultures and languages. So it's a big pleasure to keep in touch with him. Now, this is one language that I'm maintaining, and actively I'm learning Russian. So what did I do for Russian? I studied more or less 3 or 4 hours every day with SML and other books. And I would recommend, if you want to learn Russian and you know some French, or you're a native speaker of French, I would recommend this old version of Asimil, just from 1971, I think. If you can have, wait, just let me see. Yeah, I think it's 1971. Actually, it's a very the content is very good. The new ones are not so good. But I completed some Asimils before this one. I got to the yeah to the, let's say, 40 54th lesson, and I just said, Asimil, I want to change a little bit. And when you change, you can get some motivation, because variety in language learning is a key. Also, the content is a key factor. You keep going if you have interesting content. Don't go for uninteresting content. So I found the Russian podcast site, and I just download the first page of each conversation. Here it's an interview. We have person A, person B, and the interview. And I do the same stuff when there are words that I don't really understand. I just underline them, and I look them up on electronic dictionary, and I just here I don't really have a notebook, because I just, for each lesson, I just read it down. And there is an audio, so just type Russian podcast and you will see. Every day I try to revise at least 10 to 15 minutes this part, or 20 minutes. I don't do a lot. And yeah, everything is in context. Once it's a dialogue, and then it's a hotel reservation, about family. It's pretty much diverse. And you also have text about how to ask some questions if you're lost in an airport. It's more a practical approach of Russian, and without too much grammar, because Russian grammar can be daunting. But I noticed that you can get used to those cases by just, you cannot study them by heart. In You will not be able to use those cases naturally if you study them in a table. You have to see it in context, and you have to um, infer the case by looking it in the dialogue. Like here I see "Хочу заниматься иностранными языками." I know it's I don't really remember the name of the case, but I know which case it is, and I just remember this с иностранными языками, and it's good to do like that for Russian. If you learn the grammar at the beginning, it's not very helpful. Maybe after a year we'll go back to grammar and it will be clearer. So for the third language, I maintain Chinese, Mandarin. I don't speak a lot Mandarin actually right now, but I took something from that interested me. This is magazine about traveling in Europe. Here is Budapest, so I can learn a lot of things about Budapest. And I do the same stuff. I just underline some of the words or expressions that are interesting to me, and I look them up and I put it in a notebook for Chinese. So you see, so it's interesting. And what you actually want to do to recall those vocabulary, actually you don't have to recall all the words, you don't have to remember, you just have to read them several times, not the same day. Maybe read the same text 5 to 6 times on a spaced repetition base. Like Monday, you read it. The Monday you are discovering the text, so you will underline the words and look them up and put them in the notebook, and then you will read it again, understanding the words, knowing how the characters are pronounced, and then afterwards you will the following day read the same text or the same fragment or the same section twice, and after 2 3 days just read again, and you'll see if you do that you will remember better those words. You don't have to cram it. Vocabulary just comes and goes, so you forget, you get it back. You just have to be in contact and just expose yourself to the vocabulary. That's basically what I wanted to say about maintaining many active languages, the Dutch and Chinese, and learning Russian. So the important points are choose interesting content so you once you reach an intermediate level. I would say don't try to read novels too early because there are too many descriptive words and too many words that we don't use in daily life, even in your native language. So it's not a good option, I think. For the early stages, when you're advanced, you can try to read novels, but not right now because you will be looking a lot of unknown words. This is very important. Um, Reading is essential, but also speaking. Try to have as much output as you can when you have a good foundation. And that's basically it. The most important thing is to acquire the basic vocabulary and then expand your vocabulary, and knowing more expressions to express the same idea is also a great way to improve your languages. That's about it. Don't really focus too much on grammar because grammar will gradually make sense when you are exposed to interesting content. And always pay attention to the content. If the content is interesting, is compelling, then you will stay with it. But if it's very boring, you will be likely to give up your foreign language studies. But we know that the process of learning languages when you're a beginner is very long to get familiar with the basic vocabulary when it's a language from another family that you don't really know. But in time you will get used to it, and I'm sure if you are positive and motivated, you will get there. So I'll make a second part about passively maintaining some languages. Thank you for watching, and please feel free to comment in the video. Take care. Bye bye.